Alright, looks like we're back. Let me know when you guys see us. Definitely some strange interference on the stream today from some unknown sources. Not quite sure exactly what's going on, but definitely strange stuff. Let me move your cameras around because you guys are in the wrong places now. You've changed names. But you guys step through, and on your nat 20s on your perception checks, you're going to be able to follow the blood to the end, and it comes to a chamber. In this chamber, which is about 50 feet wide, maybe about the same or so high, looks like an old room for just storing books in. There is a circle in the middle of the room, which looks like it's been hastily drawn out with chalk. And there is, looks like some red liquids down on top of these chalk lines as well, and what looks to be fairly familiar to you guys as being some kind of summoning circle. You've seen teleportation circles before. Materializing out from this is a creature which stands at least 12 feet tall. It's just rising out from the ground, and it has large spines on its back and shoulders and growing out of its arms. In both hands it wields a wicked-looking sword with barbs and spikes coming out from it, which could be at least 6 feet long. This thing is huge and wide as well, almost like a great axe. It looks like it could cleave you. The thing has this demonic-looking being has spikes showing out. Even its knees and its feet and its hands look like claws. Its mouth is almost ape-like in appearance, and it has two horns which jut out from its jaw in a painful-looking manner, which looks like they could gore someone upon. It's not unlike a Minotaur, but it is certainly not quite a Minotaur, if any of you would have seen something like that before. And the creature stands before you with just a materializing into this place. Who has summoned me? Looks at the group of you as it's just kind of born out of the earth and says, "Ah, good. It has been far too long since I have been to this place," and steps towards you. In the distance, Farron and Zephyr rolled a nat 20 as well, will spot a cat-like figure running away in the distance.
Oh, guys, is it? How far away is he? Can we chase it? Could we tackle
He's
him?
just turning the corner at this point, and probably about 100 feet away.
No. Okay.
Is he beyond the demon? Like the demon's between us and the cat?
That is correct. Yes, it looks like he reads things.
Okay.
Has summoned this thing in advance, and we're gonna roll some initiative as we get in here.
Oof. Okay. That's a 10 for Miguel.
7.
Oh, really?
So, well, okay. I have a question, and you might say no, but would you let me, with that nat 20 on perception, try and, as I see him turning the corner, try and fire this vicious longbow with a grasping arrow on it, so he can't keep moving?
I'd let you. Let's see how it falls on initiative.
Not well. Not so good.
Yeah, because if he gets to act first, then he's gonna be able to get away.
He can get out of there. Hey, he might roll that one.
You never do know. If my roll 20 doesn't want to roll, I might have to reset. Let's refresh your roll 20 browser real quick. So you got 10 on your initiative, Miguel.
I rolled a 10, yes.
And Farron on a 7. Zephyr, what did you get, mate?
He got a 14.
14.
Yep, 14, sorry.
Okay, yeah. He reads things, he's going to get 15 and going to be out of here on his turn here. 14 on Zephyr. Don't think we've got a Rufus, if someone doesn't mind rolling Rufus's initiative. I might have missed it in the roll 20 desync, but...
No, she...
I got it.
Cheers.
Okay.
Find this thing. Oh, there it is!
I mean, that's Rufus's, but...
I know, yep.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
There it is.
And the demon goes last. Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Demon is going on a freeze. So Rufus on the nat 20. Let's get these guys out in initiative order. So it looks like Rufus is going to be able to act first. Sid, you can take Rufus's turns whilst Chelsea's AFK. Zephyr or someone else can, I don't mind who. Miguel, Farron, and then the demons. So it's top of the turn order. Rufus gets to act first. Someone want to act for Rufus here?
She's back.
Oh, there you are.
Cool,
Chelsea.
alright.
You're back. Welcome back.
Sorry about that, gang.
20. There's a giant.
I rolled.
But there's a giant
20.
demon. There's a giant demon in front of us that just
What?
materialized out of a summoning circle.
Yep.
Great. Sorry about that. My
ass.
mother's will was being delivered, and I had to sign for it. Adult things. I apologize.
No worries at all.
So, cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna take. If he's actually a demon, Rufus is gonna go. Oh no, he needs some light in his life. Radiant symbol 1 and 2.
Oh, another crit. That's 12 crits. We're on to beat our last record of 13.
We are, and I'm keeping tally this time. Okay, here we go.
Counter on the top of this.
There you go. So 17
Nice.
points of just sun damage to this demon's face.
Sun damage. Cool. Cool. Alright. Anything else you got, Rufus?
Nope. I think he's going to save some of his key points for later in this fight. So, yep, that's it.
Zephyr.
Okay. Zephyr begins to just stride towards this thing, takes the shield and the warhammer off as he summons both his rage and the lightning. He's going to need a DC 15 dex check.
DC 15 dex is 7, so fail.
Okay, so 4 lightning damage as the lightning kind of statics through the stones, blasting into this thing. And I am not going to go reckless attack until I see what this thing does. So he's going to go a bit of a controlled attack.
Okay.
With the first attack being an 11. Damn it.
It's not a hit.
An attack. That's what I get. Chat, I know what you're going to say. That's what I get. I've learned my lesson.
Okay. It's not hits. Okay, so Zephyr swings and misses. The creature kind of just lazily bats away with one hand wielding this axe, which looks like it's probably about as big as Zephyr. Just lazily bats it away. Oh no, you are not a worthy opponent. That's Zephyr. Miguel.
Seeing that we are back in combat, Miguel was hoping that we might have a little bit more time. I'm going to reach out to my buddy Zephyr and hit him with some more healing light, and gonna put 3d6 into him for 12 healing on
Nice.
onto Zephyr. And that is all. How far away am I from him?
At this point, you're probably about 30 feet away.
I'm going to go ahead and cast my. I reach into my pocket and grab one of my magic stones and throw one at him. It does a 12 hit.
A 12 does not hit.
So yeah, he just reaches in and chants 3 stones and throws one to try to at least do something to this demon that has come out of nowhere.
Very cool. Alrighty. That is Miguel, which takes it to Ferrin on the 7.
Solid. Yeah. Okay, so I want to try and hit it with the grasping arrow, so that way it's less likely to like charge at us. It seems like a charging type of creature.
Sure.
So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to do that.
Okay, you want to move in such a way that you're not all in one line.
No, I'm just gonna shoot it.
Just gonna shoot it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, and because this is magical, I actually get a bonus. 12! I keep rolling 12s! Why do I keep rolling 12s?
12 is not gonna do it,
No,
unfortunately.
it's not, is it?
It's just.
Alright, I'll try it
it's not.
again, but this one's not a magical one because I can't do that 2 times. A 12!
No. I mean, you guys can't complain. You've had 12 crits so far today. I mean,
That's true, yeah.
And now we're stuck on the number 12.
12. I roll 12s like far too often. Alright, that's it.
All right.
Whatever.
Alright. So that is 12 from Farron. Not quite enough, which takes it to the demon's turn. Which is going to be fun. First of all, it's going to reach in with its huge tusks down towards Zephyr to bite Zephyr. Which is going to be a nice and low 10 to hit. Secondly, it's going to swing with the great sword on a 13, and a natural 20, baby, for the 13th critical a day.
Oh my god.
And that's going to be, let's see, math. Plus 4. 20 points of slashing damage, which you should be able to halve down to 10.
Down to 10.
Yep. Let's check. Let's make sure it doesn't have to do magical damage. It doesn't, luckily for you. So, yeah, just kind of slashes at you with this huge sweep, which is set enough to, you know, rip Zephyr's chest off from him. But luckily for Zephyr, he's made of sterner stuff. Nonetheless, that is a brutal hit, and is certainly going to feel that one in the morning.
Will, narratively, to draw the ire of the demon, as soon as he takes the hit, Zephyr looks at it eye to eye. As you said, they're the same height. And he says, as the lightning goes across his eyes, he says, "You're not worthy."
Nice. All right, that is the demon's first turn. It is round 2, and Rufus, it is your turn again, my friend.
Okay, does there look like there's a way out?
Sure.
Of this,
if you were to go through the demon, you could...
it's on the opposite side of him.
Correct.
Ugh.
And there's no sign of Nepentaf.
No sign of Nepentaf.
Okay, I shall hit it again. Okay, this time I will in fact do both my attacks, and I'm gonna use a key point to get 2 additional ones. So I'm just gonna start firing some light from my face. Just like foot in the ground, I turn it sideways to add like just enough bearing behind it, and we're gonna get some rolls. Roll 3 rolls. 3 hit with a 22, a 20, and a 26.
Yes. Let's see. 22, 20, 26 are all hits.
So that looks like another 21 points of damage.
21. Nice. 21 points. The demon kind of cackles. At last, a worthy opponent. Okay. Got anything else, Rufus, you want to do?
I do not.
Alrighty.
I do not.
That takes it away from Rufus to Zephyrson, toe-to-toe with the demon.
Here we go. With a reckless Warhammer strike, he is going in at this thing.
Alrighty.
14.
Not quite.
23.
23 will do it. As you get hit, he's going to take his reaction and make a melee weapon attack with advantage against you, Zephyr.
Oh, no.
So that is going to be a 25. Yep, 25 to hit for...
Just barely.
Yeah. just the tip of the iceberg there. 2d6 plus 4 math. 10 points of slashing manages to get in on its reaction towards you.
Okay, so trading blows with it.
Yeah.
It's 11 to hit. So
11 damage. Nice.
And the lightning comes in, so it needs to do its DC 15 Dex save.
DC 15 Dex save. It's got +1 to Dex. Doesn't make it.
2 more lightning.
2
so
more
13.
lightning. Yeah, just strikes it at the top as you bring your kind of Warhammer and his sword slash at each other at the same time, both wounding one another pretty painfully. You got anything else, ever?
No, but you said he took his reaction, right?
Sure did.
I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay.
Cool.
Alrighty.
You can get away. You can get away.
You can run now. Miguel, it's your turn. You're watching your friend trading blows with a 12-foot tall demon.
So, quick question. You say he's 12 foot tall. How tall are the ceilings in this chamber?
That's 30, 40 feet.
Oh, good. In that case, Miguel will just sort of, his eyes will become prismatic again, and you see that energy flow through him down across his back. His tattoo lights up across his back, and the big charismatic, like parrot-colored wings come out as he uses his divine soul. And then he will fly up in the air and take a shot, actually 2 shots, with his packed weapon, his heavy serpent wing crossbow on a 27.
That'll do it on a 27.
That does 11 piercing damage plus 5 radiant, because when I have my wings out, I do a radiant equivalent to my level.
Cool. Very nice.
And then on the second, oops, sorry, I need to shoot again. I don't need to do damage again. On a 25.
That will do it on a 25.
And then it does another 10 piercing plus another 5 radiant. And because it's my packed weapon, it is magical piercing.
Nice.
Yeah, Miguel just sort of looks down upon it and just goes, You may have just arrived here, but you are going back home very soon, my friend.
I think not. That is Miguel's turn. Let's see. Farron, your turn.
Okay. I couldn't find the unmute button. All right. So this time, I am going to try and do this grasping arrow again, and I will roll 12.
Oh, 15. Even better.
15.
No,
actually.
let me see if 15 is going to do it. I think it might be on the money. Yeah, you got 15 now.
Okay. So a couple things happen here. It's going to take, right off the bat, 10 damage from the arrow.
Okie dokie.
And then, because it's hit by the arrow, it's going to take an extra 2d6 of poison damage. To
Snickers.
1. So just add 2 to that.
Yep, noted.
And then it takes 2d6 slashing damage the first time on each turn it moves 1 foot or more without teleporting. So if it tries to charge at us or moves 1 foot, it's going to take extra 2d6 slashing damage.
Alrighty, cool.
And then if it wants to get out of them, it can make a check, a strength save against my whatever, and it can get out.
Alrighty, cool. Anything else for you, Farron?
Yes.
Okay.
This time we will fire, but it will not be magical. It's just a regular one. You know what I'm saying?
Surely do. Let's see.
Yeah. 18.
Picking up what you're putting down. That's a hit.
Sweet. 8. And that's it.
8 extra points. Oh, damage is going to do it. Okay, nice. That takes it to the demon's turn. He's looking a lot more wounded than it did only a few moments before. But nonetheless looks down at Zephyr. Gonna try and bite your face off because, hey, that's what he does. Can't blame a guy. 26 to hit on you, Zephyr. Does he have advantage?
He does, but just
checking for the 20. The amount we've been rolling today. We just need one more to beat our previous best, actually. The bite is 1d8 plus 4. 8 points of piercing damage. And then the greatsword swings back once. Twice on the 26.
Okay, damn it.
Let's see, 2d6 plus 4, I think? Yes. Slashing damage, 16 points of slashing damage.
I'm up.
Are you?
Boy, oh boy.
You're on your feet?
Yep.
He's still standing.
Zephyr, completely bloodied, just pulls his fingers. Come on. Is that all you got?
Oh my god.
Son of a...
Nice. Alrighty, that is his turn. Goes all the way back around, top of round 3, Rufus. What you got?
Alright, before I take action, I'll say, what do you call yourself, demon? And try to communicate with it and find more information. Is there anything I can roll to, learn about this demon?
You can roll me a nature check to see if you could recognize what kind of creature it is.
A 14?
Definitely some kind of big demon. Rufus probably isn't all that familiar with, types of demons, but... It's definitely not a devil. That
right.
much, It's certainly demonic. As far as that goes, these creatures are resistant to magical effects. So that's something you'd pick up on a creature.
Oh, okay. I say, what do you call yourself and why are you here? And he'll step in and toss a few more attacks on him.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do my 3 unarmed instead of the sunbolt this time. Which didn't do quite as well. So the last 2, 16, 21.
I'm just here for fun. 16 is going to do it, and 21.
at 5 and another 8, so 13 points of fist on bear skin action.
Ooh.
Fist on demon skin action.
I like it. Oh.
Talk dirty Dewey.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okie dokie. That is Demon getting punched several times. Equally as effective as it was against the puppies. This strategy of punchy puppying goes further. It goes beyond just puppies. Rufus, you got anything else on your turn?
I would like to step, if at all possible, between Zephyr and the beast.
Nice.
Is that something I can do? Yeah, to just like put myself between them.
Yeah, absolutely. That takes it to Zephyr's turn.
First off, a DC 15 Dex check to it as the lightning comes in.
All right.
For 1.
Ooh. I'll roll it. Okay.
Yeah, so there's nothing there. Zephyr will see what his friend Rufus has done and stand shoulder to shoulder with Rufus as he moves back into combat and swings recklessly with his Warhammer. Because F this guy, man.
Right?
I don't... 15, right?
15 is going to do it. He's going to use his reaction to hit you back.
That's fine. That's 14 bludgeoning to him.
23 is a hit, so he's going to do the 2d6 plus 4. 7 points.
Rounded down to 3,
Rounded down
right?
3, yep.
Are you up?
You're almost dead, Archie. You have 1 HP, don't you?
Okay, he's going to swing recklessly again at this cat. Oh my god!
That fate had to come back around.
Oh no!
Oh,
Zephyr is barely standing as he just the hammer just kind of skitters off of it as he just looks up, blood rolling down his face.
Oh my god. The demon just cackles. Oh, this is easier than I thought it would be. Okay, that is your turn, Zephyr. Miguel, time to bring some honor to this shame. This shame.
I'm torn. I can't. Pirate, you crazy son of a bitch. I love you, man. And I swoop down on my wings and lay my hand. I actually just lay it right on top of his head and cure wounds at level 3. And with wings out, I think that gets an extra 5 as well. So that will do 19 plus 5, 24 points of healing on my buddy Zephyr as that prismatic light from my eyes and the wings sort of envelop him. It's almost like a as they flap down, it's like they sort of touch on the sides of him, and you just see his wounds heal. And then I sort of lift myself back up into the air with my you know what? I'm within melee of Schmo if I do that for at least a second, don't I?
If you're next to him, you'll be within 5 feet, yeah.
So yeah, I assume it didn't take my full 30 feet to get down there.
Sure.
So I go down. I basically do a touch and go action, heal Zephyr, and I'm going to take an offhand swing with my dagger at Demon Dude just because every point counts. 13, I guess, doesn't hit though, right?
13 ain't quite enough.
Yep. So he misses, and then Miguel pulls back up into the air. Getting out his heavy serpent wing crossbow, get ready to take a shot on his next turn.
Beautiful. Okay, that is Miguel's turn. Farron, it's your go.
Okay. Okay, we shoot. We shoot.
Tonight we shoot.
20!
Oh my god, that is beating the previous record
We did
of
it!
Learn by Play of
Everybody,
14 crits in one session.
Crazy.
Damn. Alright, Zephyr, I'll give us... not Zephyr, Miguel, that's not your name either. Your name is Farron, and it is 1 a.m. where I am, so bear with me. So Farron, he had 1 hit point left, this creature. We're not going to do the math, goddammit, on that, not this time. So tell me, how do you destroy this demon?
Oh my goodness gracious, this is amazing. Okay, I think I want to aim just right between the eyes, right between the horns, as it maybe is leaning down to buck or come forward, and as we make that downward eye contact, just right into the brain.
Beautiful. You watch as the demon just looks stunned and confused for a moment as it cannot comprehend what has just happened to it. That is somehow dead, and once again banished from this plane of existence.
Will, can I say something to him as soon as Farron hits him between the eyes?
Yeah, sure.
Because he's presumably coming right at me.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets hit between the eyes, Zephyr's going to look at him bloodied and say, "You know what the difference is between me and you? I have friends." And then watch him go.
Nice. Falls down to the floor, dead. And with that, you guys are freed of having to fight this demonic being. And do not want that. There we go. And at this point, we are going to head into our tomb insight for the day. Give these guys a break as you have successfully fought this creature. Once again, I remind you, as you fought this, you can still hear the sounds of footsteps running down the hallway. And those of you who rolled a nat 20 will have seen he reads things. Is not far away, potentially with Nep attack as well. Alright guys, I'm going into Tomb Insights. We'll be back with you guys in about 5 minutes time. Grab some drinks, enjoy, and get set for the next leg of the adventure. Alrighty, and you guys are clear. Oh look, here I am! Not with a PowerPoint presentation today, but just with my face and the artwork of the wonderful Kim Van Duen, who have created the artwork for the Learn by Play series. Today, we're going to be talking about something. We're going to be talking about combats, actually, and encounters. This is a topic close to my heart, and indeed something that we've been actually up to today. Because, hey, combats are fun, and I want to talk to you guys about when you're homebrew worlds, homebrewing your own creatures, creating your own monsters, and creating your own encounters as well. Give me 2 seconds to pull up my notes here, and I will be right with you. We've talked before in the previous season, which is quite a long time ago now, actually, several months back, goodness gracious, on creating interesting, exciting encounters. But what we didn't go into was actually creating your own monsters, creating your own creatures, and your own balanced encounters. So as a dungeon master, it's our job to make sure that we challenge our players to use their abilities and skills, and to make sure that they are having fun while doing so, and so combats don't get too boring. We're not necessarily, and I do say necessarily, here just to murder the characters. As such, we want to know how to create what is commonly referred to as a balanced encounter. So, a lot of people told me that they find balancing encounters incredibly difficult, and it's something that I also struggle with doing. In fact, creating the perfect encounter can be next to impossible. Why is that? That's because we're trying to create a scenario which is challenging but also doesn't kill the players. In that mix, we have hundreds, sometimes thousands of variables. The first of which is this little thing here that some of you guys may have heard of. It is a d20. It's a 20-sided dice. This is our biggest variable in creating kind of balanced encounter. You can't know when your players are going to roll well and when they're going to roll badly, which is, of course, means that sometimes you can run an encounter like 10 different times. The first time you're going to hit just dead on. It's going to be perfect. And then 9 other times out of 10, you're going to create something which is crazy. As in this case, and a couple of weeks ago where my players rolled 13 nat 20s and we've rolled 14 nat 20s so far this session. You also can't determine what powers your PCs are going to use, right? Some players really enjoy, the combat scenario and side of things and like to have effective turns each time. Other players will also go for the cinematic and the fun stuff, and others still aren't particularly that interested in combat and will just go with, whatever there, whatever seems like it would be useful at that moment. Throw on top of that, you've got terrain, you've got surprise rounds, which are super effective, particularly at low levels. And it's no surprise that you guys, and myself as well, have found it difficult to balance encounters. So, variance plays a big role in D&D, which is, like I say, one of the reasons why we can find it difficult to balance encounters, is, however, intrinsically part of the fun of the game. So it's not like it's a bad thing. It's, in fact, one of the best things about D&D is, in fact, the crazy highs of the nat 20s and those so painful lows as well. So it's important to realize it's not a massive failure if the combat is crazy dangerous or actually kind of falls flat. It's actually really easy for them. And consider as well, throwing easy combats at your players is not a bad thing either, because sometimes they want to feel powerful. You throw a bunch of trash mobs at them and they feel good for just, wow, last fight we did, we all died, but this fight we come back and, we nailed things this time. So, next thing to consider, before we get to creating our own monsters, is looking at recommendations in the Dungeon Master's Guide. So, you're going to want to turn to page, and I write this one down all the time because I use it so much. It's page 81 for creating encounters. Dungeon Master's Guide, page 81. And if you use tools like D&D Beyond or Roll20 as well, there are also the same tables that you can find. There is a challenge rating and the level of which creatures to use. I, in fact, can probably show you here the Roll20 Compendium, which is a free tool that you can use. So give me 2 seconds, and I'll pull this up. Using the power of science, I will show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's capture the right window. There we go, beautiful. And bring it up here, so it's not just tiny. And move my face away, so my face is not so gigantic with my massive bulbous head in your way of this. So this is our Roll20 Compendium. There is the same stuff if you find your Dungeon Master's Guide. And what this is your challenge ratings. So, following the steps in Dungeon Master's Guide, you can determine XP thresholds, and you do this once for each character. This is one of my favourite ways to just finding monsters that are level appropriate, is going by challenge rating. So you've got your 1 challenge rating, your half, your quarter, your 8. If you're familiar with basic encounters and basic D&D monsters, this will be familiar. So if we're looking for something for our party, we filter in the challenge rating 5, click search again. Searches must be at least 3 characters. Do I need something else? Okay, well, apparently I've lied about this. Let's see, I'm looking for... Oh, we're looking for demons. Fiends, demons, any kind of shape changes as well. Let's say... I don't really mind. Anything that's tiny or medium or large. D&D Beyond is similar tools list as well. It's whatever you find most effective and useful. Of course, the Roll20 stuff just has the compendium stuff. Let's search for just demons here, shall we? Demon. Well, that didn't work at all. Okay, well, goddamn you, Phil. Oh, that's why. They just filtered down there for me already. I didn't need to search. So we can find that we've got the Barb Devil there, or the Tanaruk that we can use for our encounter. That's one of my favourite ways of doing things, is just looking at challenge ratings, looking at that chart, which gives you basically the science to do, the math to do it. If you wanted a medium difficulty fight for 4 level characters at level 3, it's like 600 XP, and then you just add up the XP of monsters so that it equals that amount. Again, I don't think I'm allowed to show the... I don't know if I'm allowed to show the actual chart itself. Probably I am. I can probably find it here in a second. But you just add up the XP until it equals the right amount of party members at the right level. And that's a rule of thumb I found for at least the first 10 levels. After level 10, I found things to get a lot more just chaotic. And not just in the demonic sense either. I found it a little bit harder to balance things after the first 10 levels. And being a little bit off the target XP is not a problem either, I found. If you want to swing things a little easier, a little harder, you can do that as well. That's how I've gone about creating vaguely balanced encounters. And I do say vaguely, this is really just a rule of thumb. Go to that page 81 in your DMG, look up the XP thresholds, and work to that by buying monsters with XP. And you can also make small adjustments to that as well. As far as homebrewing creatures itself, something that I like to do, and I strongly recommend you start doing as well, if you are new to the world of homebrewing things. There we go. When I balance using the table, the challenge always seems too low. Let me go into the chat here and see what you guys. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second, Roger, actually, as well. Oh, that's straggling. If you find it's too low, then keep pumping it up until you get to the place which is right. I've played with so many different groups, and some groups it is about right, and others it's been too easy, and others it's been too hard. Which is what I say again by that level of sort of variance, and depending on the group that you're playing with as well. Remember that different groups of characters are just more effective in combat than others. Some characters are built to be sort of social dynamic encounters, and others are built to like really dominate in combat. So use the table as a rough guideline, work from there. A lot of people don't actually know that it exists. I remember talking about this before, and people not actually knowing how to even start balancing encounters. So that's a good place to start at the very least. When it comes to making your own monsters, something that I would just strongly recommend that you do, at least to start off with, is just to reskin stuff. And what do I mean by that? So if I were to just reskin a monster, then I would find a monster of correct challenge rating. Right, so I'm playing with a bunch of level 5 characters. We get some CR5 creatures in. But the creatures that I found in the monster manual or Mordekainen's or wherever you're looking aren't the the right creature. Well, I found a bunch of orcs, but I want them to actually be fighting like UNT, but I can't find one of the right challenge rating. Right? So for whatever reason, you can't find the exact creature that you're looking for. Reskinning means that you just take the idea of the creature. So, okay, I want it to be a UNT, and you actually just say, okay, I'm going to use the stat block of this creature, and I'm just going to say, oh, combat music's kicking in, I'm getting excited. I'm actually just going to say that it is, the UNT. You just switch them around. You do the old 1-2. This is surprisingly effective, particularly at low levels as well. If you are looking to find creatures that are like cooler, and you don't want to be just fighting against the same, oh no, it's a gnoll. Oh no, it's kobolds again. Just reskin them. Kobolds could be a lot of different little critters. There could be a lot of cool little things. And if you've got a cool idea for a homebrew creature, I would suggest that you just reskin things to begin with, because balance is such just bizarre thing, which maybe doesn't exist, right? Like, if it does, and you do want to create your own creature, my recommendation again would be to look at the baselines of monsters from the monster manual, the DMG, and back of the player's handbook, and take those as templates, and then tweak little parts of them. Maybe take, an ability from here and from there. What I wouldn't do is make up stuff. You'll know what I mean by this if you have ever watched my series on YouTube called Purge the Wiki. It's a series in which I go to the D&D wiki, and I find some of the craziest stuff out there that people have published, and kind of break it down and invariably laugh at it because it's often quite funny. But the stuff that is made up can be just so wacky and crazy that it doesn't actually fit in the game very well, or so complex that it slows everything down. And for me, one of the most important things about combats, whether it's balanced or not, is that it's fun and that it's pacey, and it doesn't drag on for too long, to a point where everyone is bored. So reskinning is great for this, and it's like a shortcut, right? It's your in your DM's toolkit. It's oh man, I've got to run a combat tomorrow, and I haven't got any ideas for where I can find a stat block. Oh wait, I'll just use this one and say that it's a different creature because it's your game. No one's gonna know, and furthermore, no one should care anyway. Actually, you're using the stats of an orc, and this thing's meant to be my immersion. It's like, no, you fool, why are you looking up the stats of this creature, right? So that's great. And then secondly, if you really feel like maybe there's a cool boss monster out there that you're trying to create which has a unique set of abilities, what I would suggest again is to take existing stat blocks that exist within the game, because they are invariably fairly balanced. Certainly, they've seen more playtesting than you're going to be able to do. And take the different parts from those until they create something which is cool and fun, firstly. And secondly, that recommendation of don't make it too complex, because 5th edition works best when it's not too complex. You can see earlier on a good example of when we had the vicious longbow crit and we had to do all that math and we had to figure out how many dice to roll. When all of that starts to get into play and a bunch of different effects, that's when things can get complex. And I think, gaming gets towards the slow side of things where it's like, oh god, we gotta do math, this isn't fun, and that can break your immersion out from the moment that you're having to do so very much math. So those are my short recommendations for homebrewing, creating stuff, and encounters in general. The different groups, you have to learn who you're gaming with, the people and the characters. It's very true. Rescanning is also useful when you need to improv an encounter. Absolutely, like I was saying, in your toolkit, you're like, oh god, just grab these ones from here and go. And yes, also handy for one player that has a monster manual memorized if there are players in your group. I haven't run into many in this edition of the game actually, but I'm sure they exist. There you go. Something to try. Build an encounter by putting together monsters that aren't typically found together, then coming up with reasons for them to be working together. There's a lot of fun activities and brain teasers and stuff like that on Twitter, I found. If you're into that kind of thing, sort of like D&D prompts, hook prompts, and DM tip exercises, if you will. If you go on the hashtag D&D on Twitter, you'll invariably find a bunch of those sort of activities. Absolutely, DK man, absolutely, I agree. One thing I liked about the 4th edition monster manual is that the monster entries had CR encounter groups along with them. That is something that I remember from 4th edition now that you mention it, and that was quite useful. And like I say, take everything I say with a grain of salt, because I'm just also a person trying to figure it out, and by no means do I have this down, but it's quick enough to work on the run, and the page 81 of the DMG is a good go-to, at least a good starting point, certainly if you're new, and we're specifically talking to new DMs who want to figure out how on earth where to even begin there. And once you're comfortable doing that, you can move on as you so please. Actually, this part of the DMG I think is too easy. I'm going to step up a notch my players to make them feel challenged. And like I say, if you have a combat which is a little easy, don't worry about it. The next one can be harder, and vice versa, to make them feel more powerful, or to put them in their place and realize that a villain is actually quite a dangerous foe to face off against. So when you're creating your homebrew worlds, when you're reinventing the realms, your own realms, of course, consider how you want to have creatures in your world, what they look like, and if there isn't a stat block out there for them, try reskinning one to work. Secondly, build something of your own using an existing template, and don't make it too complex, because complexity stops the fun a lot of the time after a certain point. I don't mind things being a little bit complex, but I think 5th edition, particularly in the spirit of the game, works particularly well when it is nice and quick and easy. So let us go back to the players now, and let's see what the players are up to. Back in the studio. Alrighty guys, so welcome back, players. How you guys doing? How you guys feeling after that pretty epic fight against a monster which almost took down Zephyr, but just about managed to come in with the heal there from Miguel?
We're
Hi.
we are happy that there's not a monster anymore, but we're very worried that there's more ahead because we're kind of tapped.
Yeah, it ain't looking good.
There you go.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Well, this room does look empty if you would wish to, take a short rest here.
We hear this footsteps, though,
Yeah,
right?
no
That's
footsteps.
right.
That is
Yeah,
true.
and we gotta find our child. We adopted a child, but can't lose her already.
Well, and we've got to get stupid. He reads things to help out Howard.
Right. We've got
Howard's
a
my
lot
bud.
going on. I think we should keep moving. Is the door pretty obvious?
Yeah, it's about 100 feet away.
Yeah, Zephyr was already, as soon as the demon disappeared, Zephyr took off running.
Yeah. Talking run!
All right.
Keep going.
You guys can roll me athletic checks as you rush through this hole as fast as possible.
Let's see how long my wings last. So I've got a minute of flight as well. So
5.
does that give me advantage on my check
Sure.
or something because my wings?
Sure.
As I negotiate with the DM. Good thing I had that, because otherwise it'd be a nat 1. 18 on my athletics as I fly down the hallway.
Nice.
Will, I should still have advantage because of
raging, right?
yeah, and I have fast movement too.
Nice.
So I am cruising.
I'm
Cruise control.
flailing wildly all over the place with my 5.
5.
You were so excited that you banished him.
Yeah.
Okay, and a 10 from Rufus. So Rufus and Farron are behind, while Miguel and Zephyr sort of rush ahead, turning around the corner just in time to see the Tabaxi form, who seems to be like holding someone that you could recognize to be the size of Nepatak in his hands, and just turns around the other corner down the end of another hallway. Down this hallway, Zephyr and Miguel, roll me quick perception checks.
15.
Nice.
18.
Nice. Miguel, down this hallway, there are various different runes on the ground. You're not sure exactly what they do.
Oh, son of... Pirate, be careful. There are possibly traps here. They are on the floor, though?
They are on the floor.
Can I pick up... I only have a minute of wings. First thing, how long has it been?
It's probably been at least 30 seconds.
We had about, it's going to be close. I'm not even going to ask permission. I'm going to grab Zephyr and fly him across the runes.
Okay, roll me a...
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I was going to say Zephyr doesn't even ask. Zephyr jumps up towards Miguel, figuring he's going to grab him.
Yeah.
That's
We
really
do a choreographed leap.
Beautiful. Then, in that case, you can roll me a strength check here. I'll give you athletics, Miguel.
16.
It's pretty good. So by the time that you pick up Miguel, which is going to slow you down a little, you get to the end of the hallway, and as you set down, your wings are going to finish about 30 seconds to get down the end of the corridor. At the same time, Farron and Rufus, you can like skid to a halt and see Miguel and Zephyr down the end of the corridor.
Yeah, I've got my hand up. There's possibly traps there. Avoid them, and I think we keep running because we're going to try to keep up with the Tabaxi.
Farron and Rufus, you do spot some of these on the floor when Miguel notices. At points, they will require, to get across from them, they will require quite long jumps. If you want to just run across here, you guys can roll me dexterity saving throws to avoid them.
Rufus stops right before. If you want to, Farron, he puts his hands out as if he'll help you, like, jump it.
Oh, yeah, a routine.
Oh, you do have a routine.
The routine.
I know. Rufus goes, I know this one, and squats with his hands, and it's gonna like toss you. You know?
Okay, so here's what I'd say. If you want to stop and do kind of leaps over these several runes, it will take you longer to do that, or you can run across and just take the dex saves, and you'd be going at full tilt. So that's your choice.
What is it on the ground? Are they like caltrops or?
They look like runes. You're not really sure exactly what they do.
Just
So we don't know what. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty risky.
I like the routine.
Well, get a running start. Let's do it. I'm already here. I'm in squat formation.
Yep. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm flipping. I'm doing all the things. Very impressive.
Yes.
All right, so you're going to be able to do that. It's going to set you a fair bit behind Zephyr and Miguel as they have pressed on. You have to leapfrog over, and Rufus can use his acrobatics as well to do so. The old leapfrog maneuver always works well for adventurers, you hear. This cut back to Miguel and Zephyr ahead. There is one more corridor looking the same, and it looks like it ends in a chamber beyond that you can see He Reads Things is running into. You've got runes on the ground again.
Will, as my blessed unrest is still with me, can I strike my lightning at him as he's trying to get away?
What's the range on that?
It's within visual sight, but I just looked. It didn't say what my aura is. I think it's within 10 feet. Oh, it's 10 feet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, what I'm going to do, though, is if we can see him, we can see him. Oh, I'm casting Eldritch Blast 120 feet.
Okay, nice. Yep, you can give me a roll of that.
Come on. A 10. And it's 2 beams because I'm level 5. The second one, though.
23, get it.
So you see this sort of rainbow, looks like almost like a DNA double helix going down towards him for 11 force damage. Hopefully, if with force damage,
Nice.
Interrupts him in case he's drawing something on the floor.
He's running at this point,
Okay.
but the 11 is nonetheless going to clock him as he disappears around the corner into that chamber.
Pirate, let's not
Still
lose
running?
him. Yeah, I'm going to keep running. So the dex is, how many dex checks saves do we need?
You guys can make 2 dexterity saving throws down in this corridor.
Okay, and because I know it's coming, I get advantage on both of these because of
Yeah, danger sense.
danger sense. Oh boy.
Which often gets stretched into further than it should go, but danger sense is the intended purpose. The 14 and 17.
220s.
20 and 20, you're right, yeah. Dirty 20s.
19 on the
19.
first one. Ooh, and a 9 on the second one.
Alrighty, so then Miguel, avoiding all of the others, is going to take 8 points
Okay, I can take that.
of it's lightning damage. In fact, 8 points of lightning damage. You set up a rune, it just kind of zaps you on the feet and kind of sends this charge of lightning all the way up your leg. However, you will reach the end of the corridor and into the chamber where he reads things lies. Now we're going to head back to Rufus and Farron. You're down into the first one. You turn, you see Zephyr and Miguel. Miguel gets struck by a bit of lightning on the ground. How do you guys want to do this? At this point, you guys are 2 rounds behind them.
Okay. But we've made it without damage through the first set, you said.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess at this point we just want to run to catch up.
To catch up, I guess we'll have to roll those decks to do so.
Yeah, 2 dexterity saving throws to avoid lightning pain.
12 and 24.
24 is going to save, 12 is not.
16
It's going to do it.
and a 12.
And not so much. Okay, so for Rufus it's 8 points of lightning, for Farron it's 12 points of lightning. As these runes strike you, as you kind of throws them down on the ground around him and disappears into the room. Miguel and Zephyr are running straight into the room.
Yeah, I think we're at full tilt. This is dumb, but I think, hey, dumb stat ent, right?
Yep.
I give Zephyr a high five. It's you and me, pirate. Let's get him. And I give him a high five.
Alrighty, so the two of you high five, rush into the room, and you turn in this kind of like circular old book chamber with just old musty books around. He sees things, he reads things rather, turns on the spot, still bleeding from a little dagger wound. You'll notice he holds Nefertak in his arms, who looks to be unconscious, which is a state that you've never seen her in before. Certainly seems a little bit odd. And he has her in kind of one hand at this point, and just breathless, and turns and I ain't gonna kill you. You guys should leave me alone now, huh? Let me go.
Drop the girl. As he just keeps walking straight towards him.
All right, time to roll initiative.
Yep. I pull up my serpent wing heavy crossbow, ready to shoot.
Alrighty, Rufus and Farron can also roll. However, you are 2 turns behind.
Yeah. I got a 20.
Okay, nice.
But, you know.
Rufus got a 12.
15 for Miguel.
Nice. Rufus on the 12, Farron on the 20. Go ahead.
19 for Zephyr.
Zephyr on the 19, Miguel on the 15. Let's see what this guy's got.
Come on.
Let's see what you got.
Low.
7, nice and low.
Yes.
So, he reads things. He goes into my combat tracker. So we've got Farron, then Zephyr, then Miguel, then Rufus, and then he reads things. But Rufus and Farron are 2 turns behind, meaning they'll come into the room on the top of turn 3. So it is round 1. So Zephyr.
Okay, so as Zephyr approaches, still like cruising into this room, he is going to charge into melee, but instead of wielding the shield and the hammer that he has done so in the battle before with the demon, he drops both of those to the ground and pulls out the coral greatsword that he has in the back and just charges straight at this guy. DC 15 lightning save for him to start things off.
Okie dokie.
The mean guitar riff goes off in the background.
What kind of saving throw? Dexterity? Yeah?
Dex, yeah, DC 15, please.
17 is the roll.
Okay. So 1 after it's rounded down.
Nice.
He is going to take 2 attacks with the great sword. 11 and 21.
21 is gonna do it. Yep.
That'll be 10 damage then for...
You take 2 points of damage. It is necrotic damage. You've seen this before, Zephyr. When you were fighting Archmage Ormond before, whenever you attack them, they deal damage back onto you, as it kind of like a shield almost bites back into you as you slice it at. He reads things. I'm gonna kill you one. I can't believe you're doing this. Oh, this is the worst. Okay, anything else, Zephyr?
No, he's just going to get in there and, if at all possible, he's just going to interpose himself between he reads things and just try to go for that arm and try to get Nep attack out of the arm as he's wielding the greatsword. So
yeah, it's difficult with the shield thing that he has up, but it certainly looks doable. Okay, Miguel.
I've got my Serpent Wing heavy crossbow, and I'm going to take 2 shots.
Alrighty.
14.
Miss.
And a 26.
That'll hit.
13 piercing. So this just golden bolt goes shooting out of the snake's mouth from between the wings and slams into
Yeah, nice. Alrighty. So slams right into him, even with.
I'm going to maneuver so me and Zephyr are not in a line, cone, or easily focused sphere.
It's a good idea.
Cool. Hey, we attacks. Cool.
All right, that is Would-Be River's turn, but out of combat. So he reads things is going to do a thing, and it ain't going to be read.
is that thing casting a spell?
Let's see. Probably. Yeah.
Oh, did you take it?
Oh, I got Mage Slayer, buddy.
Yeah, he's going to disappear away from you. It will be cause a spell for him to do that, though, so you get to do the thing.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to take, this is again a reckless great sword attack.
Yeah.
15.
15 is a hit.
That's 14 slashing to him as he disappears. Does he maintain concentration? Because he gets disadvantage, I believe, with my...
It's a duration spell.
Okay.
Okay, cool. She does take 12, though, and he will be out of there. As that happens, he's going to ask everyone, out of the two of you, to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, he's still within 5 feet when he does this, so can I get advantage on that?
No, he's teleported away.
Okay.
He's 40 feet away from you.
18.
Ooh, and a 21.
The 18 should be a save, he says. He tries to find it. Yep, that's both saves. So you're both going to take half of 39, which is, I have to confirm math, 19.
19.
Yeah. And it is dark, chaotic, and necrotic damage which comes out of He Reads Things' fingers, as he seems to be channeling Nep attack somehow. You watch as there is like a siphon of power which is coming from her and through his hands, as he is twisting and warping the powers at his command, creating himself into be a greater mage than perhaps he truly should be. How many HP are you looking on there, Zephyr? If you were to say out of 100 or so.
If I was a 1 to 100, I'd say I'm all right.
Yeah.
I got a little bit more than less.
Alrighty. So that is He Reads Things' turns. It's round 2, 1 turn away from Ferrinen's roof disappearing. So Zephyr, it's your turn. You're about 40 feet away.
I'm 40 feet away from him.
Yeah.
He bamfed over
away.
Okay, well, I have fast movement, so I can close the distance with just my straight movement,
Nice.
and I am going to reckless attack this cat because this might be all I've got. So, oh my god,
Ain't gonna do it.
Oh,
Nat 20,
That'll
baby!
do it.
oh,
Crit on the 15. When you get hit with melee attack, you do take the 2d8 as a reaction. So you take the 11. Necrotic.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Okay, so as he hits him for that would be an extra 4 on top of that. So for the 18 points of damage, Zephyr drops.
Nice. Alright, Zephyr's down 0. I'll let you do the damage, because it's fun on the crit, but just the 14 points. I think technically, probably, because it is your action, you do just get, when you hit with a melee attack, it erupts with flames. But that's all good. He'll take the 14, as kind of trade of blows happens, and that equals maths. No, dude, you suck at the worst. That is Zephyr's turn. There, Miguel, you watch as Zephyr goes down.
Tall Skull's got lots of ideas. Miguel would have none of them. So he is just going to shoot his crossbow.
All right.
15.
Dead on the money.
Ah, yes. For 9 piercing.
Nice.
I'm going to shoot it again for 23.
That'll do it.
For another 14 piercing.
Cool. Nice. Big hits there. Takes some. That's a lot. Ow, that really hurts. It's not cool.
That's all I can do. I just get myself ready to try to make another attack on him. As Miguel sort of looks down and sees that his parrot feather that hangs off his ear is singed. It's like, oh, I am angry now.
All right, it's going to take one look at you as he's kind of like just taking these shots. Like, oh, it's so not cool. I'm gonna kill you for that. Oh, you're gonna die. And you're going to roll for me, Miguel.
Oh, shit.
You are going to roll for me, not that one, that one. A dexterity saving throw. Just pulling no punches. It's not going to make it. Miguel, you're going to take 26 points of lightning damage as this is once again drawn out from Nepatak's power, the weapon being used against you, and he just points a finger to you. Again, the energy siphoning from her up to his hand, launches itself towards you. You take the 26. Still standing? Still feeling good?
Nope. Miguel goes down.
Beautiful. Alright, that is Hughes Reed's Thing's turn. And he is going to use the rest of his move to start running away 30 feet. However, it is now the turn on round 3 for Ferrin to arrive on the scene. After getting struck by a bit of lightning, you walk in, you see Miguel and Zephyr are down. He reads things about 40 feet away from you.
Oh, Lord.
Just get your friends, let me go now. I'm gonna go. Okay, bye.
Okay. So he's still holding, is he still holding Neprotect?
He is still holding Nepatak, yeah.
Okay. Do I... okay. I don't know if I want to banish or if I want to grasp.
Do what Farron would do. It's all you.
What would Ferrin do?
I feel like Farron would want him to be gone, but she also doesn't... Okay, yeah, that's what she would want. We're banishing. We're going to try and banish.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. A 24.
That's a hit.
He needs to roll a charisma saving throw.
Okay, he does have advantage on the saves. It's a plus.
No.
No, he doesn't. That's not.
No, you're making that up.
You're wrong. You're wrong. It's 20. 20.
Okay, yeah, that it does
that's not going to work for you. No, I'm not going to
but he will take 9 damage.
That didn't really hurt though. Okay.
And then I'll go for it once again, but not a magic one.
Okay.
Just a regular. 13.
Nope, not going to do it. Not quite. Close, but nice to go.
Oh my god.
Alrighty. That is Farron's turn. Do you want to... I guess you've spent your move action to run in here, probably, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, Zephyr, roll me a death saving throw, buddy. Oh, that was after all those crits.
Wait,
We're getting pretty close.
I was going to say, is it my turn yet? Rufus is dying.
It is Miguel's turn. Miguel, roll me a death saving throw.
Zephyr and Miguel are dying.
Yep.
Oh!
Oh, let's put one of those rips up there as well, as we're one down each. That attack's pretty cool. As he reads things, is finding, and this is the power of wearing down the party being seen in effect here. Rufus, you run into the scene, you see Farron shoot, he reads things, your two friends are dying on the floor. What do you do?
He doesn't stop running. He's just gonna keep running straight for the Taxby. But on his way, as he passes friend, he goes, "Find the healer potions!" And he's gonna barrel for this Taxby.
All right, you can. How
I
far
have 40,
can you move?
40 feet.
You can get towards him with a move action.
Okay, great. So I take my move action. Can I take it? Can I do something when I get there?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna grab him by his little cat throat.
Okie dokie.
I want to grab him. And yeah, I would like to grab him. If at all possible, I'd like to find, I don't know, there's got to be cloth on me, and I want to shove it down his mouth. He can't talk anymore. No more spells, says Rufus.
Roll me a athletics check. You're going to be able to grapple him, but gagging him is going to take you another action now. The 24 is going to do it. You hold him, and he's in your hands like, you're the worst. Stop it.
Yeah. I just want to close his mouth off. I don't want him talking anymore.
Yeah, you've got him held, but you're using both hands to hold him, both arms to grab him in. So gagging him is going to be tough.
Okay.
It is he reads things turn.
Oh no!
It's all right. It's okay. Of course, the gods are on my side.
Yeah, let's just see what this one does. Da 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 da. Okay. Let's see. No, I didn't want to do that.
Just killing me.
Instead, he's going to Misty Step again, and be 40 feet out, and then spend his action to dash a further 60 feet away. So he's 100 feet out and out through a door. He's like, "No, you're not holding me. No, bye."
Has he still got he's still?
Oh yeah, he's still holding onto it. It seems like he's channeling all of the power through her, and that's how he's pulling this off. So he is pretty nicely out. That is his turn to do so.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Technical question.
Sure.
When he Misty Steps, does she go with him?
She does. Yeah, she seems to be the power that is holding him there.
Okay, so he made him just keep her. Oh
yeah,
man, I was hoping.
Yeah, you can take one person.
For the sake of this, she is basically his magic focus.
Not for long.
So 100 feet away, round 4. Farron, what you doing?
Okay, I want to run and get as close as I can so I can use. I'm still gonna be able to use my longbow though. But so run. That's what I'm doing. And this time, since the vanishing arrow didn't work last time, I'm gonna try the grasping arrow this turn.
Okay. Let's give it a go. Oh, 16! 16 on the crit count. Holy mackerel.
Oh, sweet lord.
Ooh.
Okay. So, the damage.
I'm almost away. I'm so close. I'm almost here. No one can catch me.
I can't even feel my hands. Okay, so that plus an extra 2d6.
Yep.
Plus an extra 2d6 for poison.
Yep.
Okay. And now, jeez Louise. Okay. If he every time he moves a foot, he is gonna take 2d6 slashing damage. If he keeps running away, every foot that he runs, he takes 2d6 slashing damage.
Okay, how much damage is it total? 26?
Yes.
26, you say. 26.
Isn't it another 2d6? Because the crit on the...
the crit.
Yeah, it should be another 2d6. Yeah, you're right. So 36. That's a better number.
Nice.
Do it.
That is a better number indeed. So Farron tell me, how do you kill he reads things?
Yes!
Oh Lord. Okay.
Farron MVP.
Yeah, I'm the whole body is shaking. Okay. So, see, weirdly, I feel like Farron and Nevertech have not had a great relationship here, but there's this sudden maternal instinct that's kicking in here. And she feels bad that they've ripped this poor child from her dark, creepy cave and brought her out here, and now she's lost. I feel like that really hits home for Farron and her backstory. So, with like the rage of I guess a mom, she like pulls out this magical arrow, and you see the second she grasps it, it sort of wraps itself up in this sort of electric looking light, and it's charged up, and as it fires into the back of He Reads Things, these brambles shoot out from around it and almost encompass him like a cage, and they're barbed and spiked all over them, and so as they do so, they jam into his flesh, and blood is starting to pour out of these newly ripped orifices, and he just falls to the ground while Nefertak is able to be released from his grasp.
Awesome. And at that point, that's where we're going to end tonight's session of Learn by Play. I'm afraid so, my friends, because will our companions live or die? Will Miguel and Zephyr survive this encounter? Because they've still got one death saving fail each, while He Reads Things may be down. We'll have to wait until next week to find out what happens to this party of Learn by Play. So, my friends, if you enjoyed tonight's show, let us know in the chat. We'd love to hear from you guys. And, of course, stay tuned for next week. Every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern is when the crew from Encounter Roleplay here stream Learn by Play. So come along. Hopefully you learned a couple of things as well. And there was some weird thing going on back there, apparently, where I was speaking weird voices. Don't know what that could mean. But let's go round a custom crew. Did we enjoy ourselves, and where can we find you guys online? If you guys are in the Twitch chat enjoyed tonight's show and you want to watch more Dungeons & Dragons, then you can watch myself, Will, the D&D sex icon, play Dungeons & Dragons and a host of other games over here on Twitch. So I'll say hello in chat if you want to come give us a follow. There's just tons of Dungeons & Dragons, City of Mist, Star Wars, Call of Cthulhu. We're playing the RuneQuest premiere in a couple of weeks' time, so stay tuned for that. But let's go around the cast. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Let's start with Tool School. Tool School, Miguel's in a bit of a tough spot here. How'd it go?
Oh, a bit of a tough spot, but what fun. Crazy rolling again, Roll20 hacks. But it was awesome. So cinematic in all three of the combats. And what a blast. What a blast. You can find me, best way to find me is through my Twitter, which I'll put in the chat. I will link it to you there, where you can find all the different projects. Actually, I need to add a few more to there, which will probably talk about. My big news for today, though, I've been a small streamer for about a year and a half now. We've done 64 some odd episodes. We run our channel 100% for charity. And today we crossed the $10,000 raised for 50 different charities over the course of the last year and a half. If you want to check me out, we run our campaign at 2 o'clock on Saturdays. You can find my Twitch channel there. Would love any follows so you know what we're doing. And a huge shout out to the whole D&D community, who has just been amazing and so incredibly generous with all of the different charities that we've been supporting. So thank you to all of you. I am continually amazed by just the generosity and the welcoming attitude of this whole community. All of you are great. You guys are all nat 20s out there in my book. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Great stuff, Total School. Thank you so much. That's awesome news. And congrats to yourself from myself and, of course, everyone here in chat. Looks like awesome stuff, guys. Sid, same question.
I feel incredible. I am high right now. I'm on a high. That felt so good. The last roll of the night, and it's a nat 20, and it's mine, and oh my god, this is gonna go down in history. One of the best nights ever. But yeah, if you want to find me in other areas of the internet, you can follow me on Twitter at Sydneyak, and I pretty much link to everything I do there. I am the DM for a podcast called Wonder Quest. You can follow that on Twitter. I also play on a podcast called Turncloaks. You can follow that on Twitter. It's all linked in my bio there. And yes.
Great stuff.
There you go.
Thanks, Sid. Greg.
Man, oh man. Having a +7 in Constitution doesn't mean anything. When Roll20 wants you to die, you will die from poison attacks from ogres. I love this game. I love D&D. I love playing on Wizards of the Coast. I love this chat. They put you in check when you don't play a barbarian right, and I love that. I love that more than anything. I love playing with these people. Fair and MVP, thanks for keeping me up. I was an anchor on the Tempest Beloved tonight, and I appreciate it very much, guys. Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters. You can find me doing a lot of things over in Encounter Roleplay, a lot of them Cthulhu related, so if you like that system, check me out. On my own channel, we are doing Firefly, Cthulhu, and next month a little Conan, but come back here because Zephyr and Miguel are dying, and we need you next week. Yeah.
Thank you, Greg. And last but not least, Chelsea.
Yes, of course. I always have a blast. I get to put forth my roughest, gruffest demeanor. So Rufus is one of my favorite characters. I always have a blast. And this cast, I mean, come on, this cast, right? If you want to find me online, I play a lot of tabletop RPGs on a lot of different channels. Encounter Roleplay, I DM for them over on Thursdays. I'm here on Saturdays. I'm in a Princess Apocalypse campaign. I got a bunch of new cool stuff coming up this summer. And most importantly, I launch my very first D&D game from my channel tomorrow morning. So I'm going to have my last minute panic before I stream for the very first time on my channel tomorrow. So you can go follow me over on Twitch if you want to get the little announcement that I'm doing that. And the rest of the time, you can find my entire schedule and all the many places that I play over on my Twitter. That's where you can find me. Little _red_ dot. Yeah. Oh, and it looks like somebody in chat asked about the 5. That's in fact a TPK count for the game I DM for over on Encounter Roleplay's channel. Well. So you can check that out on Thursdays. Mm-hmm.
Great stuff. Well, thank you guys for joining us again. You guys are in for a treat because in about 8 minutes' time, it is the Heroes Graveyard and the finale of the Heroes Graveyard as well, I believe, the second season. So hopefully those guys can survive, maybe where these guys have not yet so far. So best of luck to the crew. And the next game I'll certainly be tuning in to watch and hopefully see a good TPK there. Once again, if you enjoyed the show, you can follow us over at Encounter Roleplay. We appreciate all the love and support, and we can't wait to be back with you guys next week for another episode of Learn by Play as we're heading to, I think, episode 12 of the show. So we're getting through. We're getting close to some exciting stuff in the game, so I can't wait. But let's go, and I'll see you guys soon. Until then, try not to roll too many nat ones because I want to be laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Bye.